So, well, today is welcome you to join our talk about逢甲 University.
It's difficult. Already.
Personally, being the leaders of higher education, we do have a very nice record in terms of trying to prevent the spread of this pandemic. Well, how do you manage that? Can you share your experience with every one of us?
Okay, I think that this pandemic, since the January 21st, as I recall, and at that time, we follow the guideline from the Central Epidemic Command Center in the central government. Then we have to set up the so-called epidemic prevention and emergency response team.
Right.
And we set the two centers inside our university. First is for the education safety center. Another one is for the campus safety center. So we are the first university, and to postpone our school starting date for 2 weeks in Taiwan. So we like to gain more time to prepare this epidemic. And I would like to say that most importantly is that we have to handle the so-called epidemic inside the campus. So we encourage our students to measure temperature daily, and we restrict the entrance, limited to the 3 or 4, and so to make sure that every student, staff, faculty, and also the visitor come to inside the campus has to be safe. We have the app for every student and also the visitor and also the faculty. They have to report their temperature, their symptom, to make sure that everybody is safe inside the campus. I think that's the most important what we did. So once we make sure this, as long as it's become a daily operation, then we follow the guideline, wear a mask and keep the social distance. Since the January 23rd up to now, so we did still operate like a normal. So I think that we follow the guideline and we make sure that every faculty, student, and the staff, visitor follow the regulation. I think that we control this pandemic pretty good.
I think you must have faced a lot of dilemma. For example, in terms of international students, right? You must welcome them to join this campus. However, there exists quite a lot of uncertainties. How do you manage that?
Starting from the January, this epidemic, So actually, that's our second semester of the last school years. Due to the epidemic starting in mainland China, so actually we have around 280 students. They cannot come back, to the last semester, the whole semester, But at that time we don't know that, so we have to deliver the distance learning for them. So at the very beginning we choose the Microsoft Teams solution for us. So we offer the face-to-face education in campus, but we offer the same lecturing courses to our students who cannot participate.
Personally, you just mentioned about that.逢甲actually started this distance learning through the team at the very early stage, right?
Yes, very early stage. Actually, the more than 1,000 courses are taught through the teams. At that time, still we have a lot of the students or our faculty. They study abroad or they have the conference in the overseas, and they come back. So we following the same regulation. Say we have to quarantine for 14 days, and the new school year starts. At that time, we have to welcome the new student coming from the abroad, like gentleman and the lady. At that time, we're still waiting for that because we have to control the epidemic in Taiwan. But I think up to maybe the July, the things become clear. Say the Ministry of Education start to welcome the foreign student to come to the逢甲 University. So again, we follow the guideline and we set up the SOP for those students who can come back to Taiwan to逢甲 University safely. So actually we separate that into the several procedures. Before the student come back, then we have to find out the so-called quarantine hotel first. Then we report the student list to the Ministry of Education, and we help students to get the visa and their flight number and flight date, and we report their name again. And once the student arrive at Taoyuan airport, and we have to send our staff to welcome them at the airport, and then help to bring our newcomer student, because they never come to Taiwan before, right?
I like him too.
Yes, I admire them. Okay, they're so much very encouraged to study abroad, especially in this pandemic time, right? Then we would help them to take the taxi, yes, quarantine taxi, direct to the hotel, and quarantine there for the 40 days. Okay, we have to phone them every day to make sure that they stay in the quarantine hotel, they are in a good hand, because we have to provide the three meals every day to them. Okay, and they have to report the temperature to us after 14 days. And the student come to逢甲 University, they have to under so-called health management for 7 days. Okay, that means they have to wear the mask. Then once they come to the逢甲 University, then they follow the regulation of the university. So right now we are not enforce every student to wear a mask. If they cannot make sure the social distance, they have to wear. But I think the逢甲 University, maybe 80% of students, they will automatically wear a mask. As long as we can do the so-called quarantine procedure safely, I think that we can keep the campus safety.
Thank you very much. But I would like to last question is that, well, you must have been through a lot of steps in terms of the prevention, right? So what is the key to the success? If I want you to briefly say what's the key to success in terms of managing this campus safety?
I think that the reason that Taiwan will experience, I think, very successful the so-called academic response to this COVID-19, I think it's because 2003, around 2003, at that time, we had the SARS. And I think that Taiwan suffered a lot, and that pandemic, not as wide spread as this time. Okay, this experience helped us to follow the guideline. Actually, the wear mask, to me, is try to prevent the spread of this virus. I think the most important is that all the faculty and students, they want a safe campus.
I think that this is very valuable comments, because we definitely right now that Taiwan is one of the few places that still remain the same, the routine education. And we have Denise, she is from somewhere, I guess wearing a mask definitely is not welcome in your country before, right? Can you tell me more about that? What do you feel about your first arriving in Taiwan?
Right now, schools are still closed.
Still?
Yeah, still, and they're going to be still closed, I think, for a long time.
Wow.
Almost everything has time, they open in the morning, but they close really early. Everyone needs to wear a mask everywhere outside their homes, and you still have restrictions traveling from city to city, so everything is still closed in Mexico. Arriving here and to see the reality that you have in Taiwan, it's amazing to see that the stores are still open, that you still can walk in the streets without wearing a mask. I mean, mandatorily, because you can, of course. To see as well how the people here in Taiwan cooperate with the government to maintain this reality is actually really great.
Oh, right. Okay, that's very important. How about Gabor? What do you think? How is the situation in Hungary?
Yes, as I heard from the news, in Hungary the situation is getting worse. So unfortunately the pandemic is growing, and we have to wear masks as well in Hungary. So we have strict rules by today, and the Hungarians are fighting against the virus as well. Here in Taiwan, I have seen very good examples how we can prevent this kind of virus situation. As Denise described, we are very free because the overall Taiwanese situation is very good. We have to wear masks only at the bus if we use the public transportation, but here in the university we have strict rules, and based on that we are safe. So at the beginning, before I came here, everybody asked me, are you sure that you would like to travel to Asia, the center of the pandemic? And I told them, are you sure about this question? In Taiwan, the numbers are showing something different. So the numbers are very low, the rules are strict, but local people followed, and that's why by today the numbers are very low.
Other schools at Hungary still closed down?
As I know, I just read yesterday the schools closed, but in general the schools are closing just now.
I would like to ask two of you, is this very crucial moment, right? What made you still so determined to come to study at逢甲University? Denise?
Yeah, well, for me to study in Taiwan, it was totally a dream. Like, I wanted to experience something really different from my culture, so I said, okay, Asia is like a good place for me, and the language, it was important as well. I wanted to go to a place with a really strong language as Mandarin it is, and important. So that's why I say, okay, I want to go to Taiwan.
Have you been stopped by your friends?
No, not at all. Like at the beginning, I had some comments, as Gabor said, like some people told me, why you're going to Asia if it's the center of the pandemic? But I had the same thoughts, like right now, Europe or America are not in a good state either, or in a worse state actually. So I was like, no, I'm actually going to be safer there.
Right.
So that's why I decided to come. And when I was leaving, no, I think everyone was encouraging me.
Does that apply to you, Gabor, as well?
Yes. So this is my second time that I'm here in Taiwan, and I have several reasons why I wanted to come back, to return to this island. And it was a very, very good feedback for me that local people trying to help me. And during my previous visit, I visited a lot of companies and the factories where I have seen a lot of modern and smart technologies. And I said, oh my God, this small island has a lot of valuable processes, innovation-based technology. And I said, okay, so if I would get a chance to return, I would study from the local people. And of course, the Taiwanese lifestyle is something interesting for me, with the language, with the culture, with the food. And in general, this was a very, very exciting period for me regarding the last year's experience. And I said, okay, let's find an opportunity to improve, develop myself. And later on, maybe if I will have a chance, maybe work or continue my career here in Taiwan. So in general, I look for opportunities to grow, to learn, to study, and make new friends as well. Because Taiwan is a real multinational country. Here you can meet local people, and I have friends from Nicaragua, from Mexico, from Vietnam. And if we meet these kind of people, then we can understand each other's culture, the language as well, and we can work as a real team and create much more added value.
Right. So you're still here longer. Denise is here 1 month, right? You stay here for 1 month. Can I ask you, what you gonna recommend the future students if they are interested in studying Taiwan or at逢甲to be particular? Will you recommend them to come?
Yeah, definitely. Not just for the cultural experience, but for the education experience as well. Because here with the environment, the international environment, and it's really rich for your knowledge.
Right.
So I will totally recommend it, yes.
And how about you, Gabor, to the people from Hungary?
Yes, I can confirm what Denise said. So in general, I would like to use the phrase that逢甲is a big family. So of course we have teachers and students, we know who we are, we have rules, we have to follow the rules, we have exams, we have to study. But if I, for example, if I have a question, then I'm free to ask. I'm free to ask, and the teachers will do our best to help me. And this is a big advantage as well, that I can trust. I have a warm feeling. If I'm in trouble, if I have a question, that I can ask somebody, please help me. This is important. But finally, I'm here, and I'm so happy.
And last question goes to our President Lee. President Lee, that we know that逢甲is a very internationalized school. Well, can you express what we can promise that international students, are they coming to stay here? Will you guarantee them a very safe environments and a better academic environments? What's a few words to those potential international students?
I think especially the逢甲location, I think it's very city-wise. So you can experience a lot during the campus. But once you're outside the campus, you can see a lot of the social activity. First of all, I would like to make sure that I welcome all the international students. So the international students come to join us.
Right.
Okay, they not just want to learn during their university life, but also they enrich our local students.
Yes.
That's very important for us. I think that's why the university welcome the international students come to join逢甲University. Okay, and talk about this pandemic. Okay, I think that definitely changed the way, okay, the mind of student they study abroad. Okay, for example, and we are in the International School of the Technology and Management. This is the school for the逢甲University. We have the public university. Okay, it's a dual degree 2+2 program inside this schools. Okay, and I would like to mention another one is that the central government's policy. We have the so-called 2030 dual language nations. We try to build this. Can you imagine that? So we are mainly the Mandarin speaking country, right? But facing the new world, I think that we actually move towards so-called dual language nations. So that means that English will become more and more popular in Taiwan. I think that will make not only the逢甲University but also Taiwan become more globalized. So I would say that we encourage our students to study abroad, and also we welcome the student to join the逢甲University.
Okay, thank you very much for three of you to join today's our experience talk in terms of internationalizations and pandemic prevention. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Kris.
Thank you.